What is up, hashtag FURRYPACK, and welcome to a brand new video where, oh crap, the game is really loud. My apologies. Hopefully you can still hear me because I don't feel like lowering down the audio, but other than that, welcome to a brand new video where we're playing Rocket League against a bot, so I'm probably going to put that in the channel. Okay, the audio's really loud. Damn it. Here, I got an idea. Let's hit pause. Let me alt-tab. And when I alt-tab, I should be able to go to open volume. I'll lower this down to what I usually keep it at. Go back to the game. And hopefully the recording doesn't get ruined or screwed over. But oh well. There we go. Audio's lowered. But hey, what is up, y'all? Hopefully you can enjoy this wacky random video on Rocket League as we're playing on the PC currently. And, you know, I got a couple of things to talk about. And so, you know, besides me playing with a bot here, right? One thing I really wanted to talk about was about Rawr XD. The other thing that's gonna be in the title, you know, Rawr XD. What about Rawr XD, doggo? No, I just wanted an excuse to put Rawr XD in the title, so Rawr XD. I don't know why, but that's literally what I call the team names. How do I check the team names again? Oh, there we go. See, look, Rawr XD, Rawr XD, Rawr XD, Rawr XD. You know, what did the dinosaur say to the female dino? Rawr XD. And then the female dino accepted the male dino's response with XD Rawr. But you know, Rawr XD. Rawr. Just other than that, here, let's go to the real main topic of today's video. Besides me just joking around and making an excuse to put Rawr XD in the title, and then besides just playing against a bot and then getting wrecked by the bot, but the real title or the real topic for today's video is gaming with a controller on PC. You know, that's our topic. You know, what is it? PC controllers. Or so, I don't know. Gaming with controller is probably what's actually. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna write it in a title, but I'm gonna write it in a title somehow. I'll probably put PC Gamepads. That makes a little more sense. There we go. But anyways, that's something I actually felt like talking about in tonight's video. Let me know in the comments down below. You know, do you play on your PC with a controller? I actually do. That's actually how I'm playing Rocket League right now. And a lot of people will go ahead and pretty much call you out a lot of times saying, hey, keyboard and mouse is better. Why are you such a peasant and a scrub? A freaking, you know, console noob, no life, and why are you on the freaking PC if you're using a controller? You're supposed to be using a keyboard and a mouse because it's superior. That's a whole lot of BS, alright? That's a whole lot of bullshit right there. And the reason why I say it's a lot of bullshit is this. It all depends on user preference and user experience. You know, anyone that is highly experienced with using a controller or a gamepad, you know, in this case, what is it? For me, I like using my PS4 control on almost about anything, which you're allowed to use on a lot of titles on PC, or there's programs that will help you go ahead and use it on games as well too, in case you weren't natively supported with it. You know, so you can still have, you know, the same great gaming experience that you would want on PC of that higher resolution and frame rates, but still play it like as if you were playing, you know, your PS4 and all that, right? And I personally like having a controller on majority of my games. Sure, there may be some games I will prefer using a keyboard and a mouse, but majority of the time I like to still use my controller because it's just how I play games a lot better. I have more experience with a control. And it's best. But let's say you take the most pro player that had a keyboard and a mouse and the most pro player using a controller. That person on a controller could still wreck that person that's using a keyboard or mouse. And a person on a keyboard and mouse could still wreck the person using a controller. People may say there's a complete difference when it comes to accuracy, for example, on like a first-person shooter. You might be able to be a little more accurate and precise, you know, moving your mouse on FPS game to, you know, get a easy headshot, you know, freaking quickscope on a person in like Call of Duty, right? But a person on a controller could do the same exact thing with enough experience of moving their analog sticks at the right spot and timing it at the right spot, and also could be just as fast with adjusting their settings for that controller, right? For adjusting, you know, the sensitivity and everything like that. Just like on a keyboard and a mouse, you know, in the settings for the game, you adjust the sensitivity of your mouse to make it faster and be more precise. And it still depends on your timing, and you know, and then how well you are at moving that mouse. You know, some people are pretty terrible out there, and then there's people that are decent and good and all that. And that's how it works out. However, there is quite some games out there on PC that do prefer a controller over a keyboard and mouse, which, in general, it just makes controllers a really useful thing to have, even if you aren't a person that doesn't like keyboard and mouse sometimes, that doesn't like controllers that much, right? But you still want to play a couple titles that you're interested in. There's some titles that are better off with it, and that is, for example, like Rocket League, what I'm currently playing. This is the type of game where when you launch the game and you have a keyboard and mouse connected, it will tell you if you have a controller, it's recommended to plug that in and use that controller, because you're just gonna have a better way when it comes to movement. Keyboard and mouse is pretty good, you know, on accuracy on that mouse. And then, you know, for some games, like if you're playing, like, let's say CSGO, or maybe you're playing some Gmod and all that, the movement for those type of games, you're gonna do just fine with a keyboard and mouse, let alone. But if you're gonna be playing a different game, maybe like a JRPG, maybe something like Skyrim or whatever, I don't know, or, right, I feel like a controller is just a little nicer, because, you know, clicking some simple buttons on a control, to me, personally, feels a little faster than having to memorize your fucking keyboard. And, you know, and also, like, what is it? You would just be more familiar, you know, a lot more buttons will, like, there will be more actions programmed to one button, compared to a keyboard, you only get one action programmed at a time. And I know you could go ahead and fix that up with, like, macros or software and all that kind of stuff, but on a controller, there's some games that are just already, by default, optimized to go ahead and use up what a controller buttons have to offer. Like, you have a D-pad that only has four ways, you know, up, down, left, right. Then, on the other side, you get your standard 4 buttons. You obviously too have analog sticks and 4 triggers. And then, you also get a start button, and like that other button that's what is it? It's like the pause button and whatnot. And some controllers have a button in the middle, some don't. But, you know, yeah. Like, that's pretty much one thing is, I don't see why in the community, we have a lot of people that always argue constantly about what is better. I feel like it's more just about your experience and your personal preference, and people should accept those that use a controller and people that right? Because, like, I mean, I feel like if you're a person that says PC is master race, you know, honestly, like, sure, they may be more superior than the console, because yes, they're upgradable. Yes, you could go ahead and get better frame rates and all that kind of stuff, and optimize your games a lot better and all that, but, I mean, a PC technically at the same time kinda is like a console, if you think about it, just, you know, a much stronger, higher end console with the customizable option. Because a lot of people, you know, will end up playing like the same games you'll get on a console, right? For example, like, let's say GTA 5, you could get that on the PS4 and an Xbox, but on the PC, you'll get a much better frame rate, you'll get a much better resolution, right? And, hey, you could probably even build the PC a lot cheaper than what you will for the console, but a lot of people are going to want to play that, you know, with their own choice of an Xbox controller or a PlayStation 4 controller, just because, you know, they came off of a console, or even if they didn't come from a console, they'll just feel like it's a lot easier to go ahead and play with a gamepad than what it will clicking a whole bunch of buttons on your keyboard, you know. Like, for me personally, I just grew up with a console, so when it comes to playing any game on the PC, you know, I could actually play decently well, because I use a controller most of the time. I mean, there's games I do use keyboard and mouse, and it's pretty noticeable on how terrible I am. and it just ruins my experience because I do go ahead and try to learn keyboard and mouse, you know, time to time here and there, right? But even as I go ahead and take time to learn, before like I'm still gonna pretty much end up getting like vote kicked on some games, or I'm still gonna get a whole lot of haters like randomly in the freaking like game chats, you know, by text or by voice saying, hey, you know, get out of this game, you know, go back to console pissing or whatever because you know how terrible I am. And it sucks, but, you know, let me know what you think, you know. Let me know if you're a freaking, like, I don't know, a freaking keyboard and mouse PC master race person, or if you're open to using both a keyboard and a mouse and a controller, or what is it, maybe you only use a controller only and not your keyboard for all your games, you know. So yeah, and also if you do use a controller on PC, let me know what's your favorite controller to use. Lately I've been using the Gamepads T1 controller that I ended up buying quite a few months ago, and I even unboxed this, and it's a really nice controller. But sometimes I do use my PS4 or my Xbox, but I prefer using my Gamepads because it feels and looks a little more like a PlayStation controller, but it's detected as if it were an Xbox control, so it's supported on every single game natively. Unlike the PS4 control, not every game is supported native, but you could easily make it supported on every game if you get a special program called DS for Windows, which tricks the PC thinking that it's an Xbox signal. So yeah, that's about it. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna end it up on here, you know. What is it? So yeah, remember, leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't already, support the channel. Let's try to get a 2.5k subscribers, and remember, Rawr HD. Peace out, #FURRYPACK.